how high net worth individuals and ultra high net worth individuals like Cristiano Ronaldo can benefit of the new tax incentive of Italy. So I'm speaking of Cristiano Ronaldo because of course he's an amazing player, but he was on the news for the most time about taxes for the new 100,000 euros flat tax regime. So there have been speculations saying that he moved to play in Italy because of that, because it's a significant tax saving. Now, well, he moved too early, because if he moved 1 year after, he could have had another big tax saving, which is the new residence tax regime has been expanded to football players because they are professional athletes, and in that case, their taxable income is reduced of 50%. So whatever million they make, they reduce it by 50%. So the new flat tax, the 100,000 euros, is a great regime to structure your international affairs and to structure taxes all over the globe. Because the Italian tax office says you can pay 100,000 euros against every source of income you make abroad. So whether you make pennies or billions abroad, the Italian tax office is okay if you just pay 100,000 euros. And of course, this also includes inheritance taxes. And this regime can be extended to family members paying an extra 25,000 euros. So it is also a great time to move to Italy, to avoid paying inheritance taxes, to move your wealth across the generations. And that wealth, the generous, of course, income, now is you can only pay 25,000 euros. So you decide to appoint assets to your son or to transfer your company to your daughter. Well, you can do that, and they pay 25,000 euros on the dividend they receive on every foreign taxation, regardless if they make, as I said, pennies or billions. Now, the other great thing is that you do not pay any wealth tax. So if you are a wealthy individual, you might have a substantial amount of wealth tax payable. Of course, there are ways to avoid wealth tax while living in Italy, but you need to create certain structures, and structure they cost money because the accountant has to run the accounts. So whenever you are a high net worth individual, it might make sense to structure your business and your wealth into vehicle companies to create an appropriate SRL, or the also known as Società Semplice, the SS, in which you keep your wealth, so you avoid to pay any wealth tax, but you do not have any adverse consequence on your personal taxes. Those are ways to run it, but if you don't even have to pay that, that's even better, and that lasts for 10 years. So if you stay in Italy for 10 years, you pay 100,000 per year. Well, actually it lasts 15, I'm sorry. For 15 years, you pay 100,000 every year. You don't have to restructure your business. You don't have to create trusts, and every foreign income is covered. What is not covered is Italian income. But however, you can set up advantageous tax regimes as well. You can adopt the new residence tax regime. So if you make money in Italy, then most part of it can be tax exempt if you structure efficiently. And going back to the Cristiano Ronaldo example, well, it's a good way to move to Italy and avoid to have the tax office on your back, as it happens in other jurisdictions, and it of course happened in Italy as well. But with this regime, you pay 100,000 and that's it. You can say goodbye to the tax office investigation for a while.